Hey y'all, what it do? So I wanted to come on here and talk about something I never talk about and never thought I would talk about. So I know it's a lot of YouTube channels on here that their message is specifically on kingdom marriage. Y'all please excuse the phone ringing in my background. And people wonder, what if a person that God told you is your spouse marries somebody else? It means you have to let it go. I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying that God couldn't have told you that a particular person was your spouse. But if somebody who God told you was your spouse, number one, you need to figure out, pray and ask God whether God really told you that, or whether it was your flesh telling you that, or whether you were deceived by an angel of light. And then number two, if they marry somebody else, God got somebody else for you, because humans do have their own free will. And you have to let it go, because covenant is covenant and God honors it. Be blessed. What it do? I'm back, y'all. So this is the part 2 of my last video on what do you do if the person that God told you was your spouse marries somebody else. In my last video, I said that God honors covenant. So if a person who God told you was your spouse marries somebody else, you have to honor that covenant as well. Move on with your life. And I was saying that y'all have to really pray and seek God for answers, because a lot of people are being deceived and just hanging on to every word that these different prophetic voices are saying on YouTube. And some of them aren't even real prophets, and I don't claim myself to be no prophet to the masses or anything like that. You just have to pray to God and ask God to make it plain and clear to you that if you are standing for somebody, ask him for real clarity as to whether or not you're standing for the right person. Ask him, and he'll answer. Knocking, the door will be open unto you. Some people have not because they ask not. So you ask God the questions, he'll give you definitive answers. That way you're not standing for somebody who end up going to marry somebody else and you standing there looking Y'all, this is part 3 to my last video. What do you do if God told you that a certain person was your spouse and they go marry somebody else? I would just say, ask God, y'all, for definitive answers. Pray to him. Ask and you will receive. Ask him to give you clarity and make it plain to you whether or not the person you standing for is really for you or not, so that way you're not standing for years and years and years and years and years thinking that this person is really the person God had for you, and then they go off and marry somebody else, and then you just looking like stupid in the end. I'm not trying to call people stupid, but like, you'll really be feeling stupid. And so just to avoid all of that foolishness, just talk to your heavenly Father and stop listening to all these quote-unquote prophetic voices on social media. I'm not saying some of them aren't real prophets, because I do believe they are, but you have to test every spirit. And don't just listen to people because they tickling your fancy and saying what your ears want to hear, and that they're appeasing to your soul, to what you want.